With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
So our question is, psi w equals to psi s is not applied to A. Turgid cell, B. Normal cell, C. Plasmolysed cell, or D. Flaccid cell. So we have to tell that out of these four cells to which psi w equals to psi s is not applied. Firstly, let's see what is psi w and psi s. Psi is a symbol for the water potential, and here psi w means the water potential, and psi s is actually the solute potential. So now when we talk about the psi w and psi s, so psi w is equals to psi s plus psi p, that is the pressure potential. Okay, so this is the formula for psi w, in which it is related to psi s, and psi p, that is the pressure potential. So this is the relationship that the psi w, that is the water potential, is equal to solute potential and the pressure potential. So now first let's discuss what actually is water potential. Water potential is actually the water movement. Okay, so it is water movement. And this water movement, or the psi w, how it is very rapid and very dynamic. Since it is very rapid and dynamic, so it leads to the production of the kinetic energy. And we know that the water molecules, they move rapidly and dynamically because of the free ions or the free molecules present in them. They move rapidly due to the free molecules present in them and leads to the production of kinetic energy. Now, when we talk about the psi s, that is the solute potential, so it refers to the solute that is there in the water. So when we know that so it refers to the solute. So now when we know that when water, when we add solute, when we add some solute, then what happens? The psi w, that is a water potential, it decrease. Why it decrease? Because the free molecules are less. And this leads to the less kinetic energy, and hence the water potential also decreases. So now based on this, we will be discussing about the type of cell. Now let's consider the first option, that is the turgid cell. Turgid cell, it is fully filled, and fully filled means that there is no net water movement. Therefore, the psi w, it is 0. When I talk of psi w as 0, so psi w 0 means that the psi s and psi p are equal with opposite signs. Therefore, the psi w becomes 0. Although the psi w and psi s, it is not equal here, and this can also be the option. But what if the psi s is actually 0 and psi p also, and also a condition that here psi w is 0, therefore this cannot be the correct option. Next is the normal cell. Normal cell is the one in which the concentration is normally. So in normal cell, we know that the psi w, in normal cell, the psi w is what? When we talk of a pure water, the psi w is 0. So in normal cell, the psi w and psi s cannot be 0. Why? Because the psi p is always there. Because of the psi p is always there in normal cell, because the pressure potential exists. Therefore, psi w and psi s cannot be same. Therefore, this is the answer. Then come the plasmolysed cell and the flaccid cell. For plasmolysed cell and flaccid cell, they both are actually the same one. What happened in this cell? So in both these cells, what happened? They are kept in the hypertonic solution. So firstly, they are kept in hypertonic solution, because of which the water moves out. Water moves out. And since the water moves out, the pressure potential becomes zero. Because of this, what happens? The pressure potential becomes zero, and when pressure potential is zero, this leads to that psi W is equals to psi S. Therefore, in these, the psi W is equals to psi S, therefore they cannot be the option. Hence, the normal cell is the correct option, in which the psi W equals to psi S and psi P, because both the psi S and psi P exist in the normal cell. Hence, option B, that is the normal cell, is the correct answer.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut App today.